Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm really excited because I don't get to commentate my own gameplay. I get to walk through some gameplay from last weekend over the North American and European LAN in Columbus, Ohio. So this is going to be Ascendant versus Sneakier Snakes, guys. They're playing some interesting compositions, so we'll talk about that here in a second. But guys, this is a pretty big tournament. This is the winner of this tournament gets a guaranteed spot to BlizzCon to play in BlizzCon finals or just BlizzCon tournament in general. This is very, very exciting, right? So Radipai's team is playing with Maro and Valet. I don't know how to say it. But they're playing Shadow Priest, Frost Mage, Discipline Priest, which is like a Actually, I'm going to pause this so too much doesn't happen in this opener. But Disc Priest, God Comp of sorts, very interesting composition, and that's the Frost Mage. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. And then we have Milkman X, Dillypoo, and Psyfoxy, of course, playing jungle with that Marksmanship Hunter and that Feral Druid and that Discipline Priest. Milkman is playing Relentless, and so Ascendant's going to be going for CC chains. It looks like Valet's probably going to be playing Mind Bomb. So it's going to be like Mind Bomb, Silence, maybe a Sheep, maybe a Fear onto the healer, and big damage onto either Dilly or Psyfoxy in those Mind Bomb setups. Valet is going to get that spread pressure. Frostmage is going to burst. So that's kind of what Ascendant's looking for. Sneakier Snakes on their hands looking for Trap, Fears on Ratipai, and just a ton of damage most likely in tomorrow. But they could also go Valet with that True Shot, with that Incarnation. Tons of consistent pressure and burst from Sneakier Snakes. So that's kind of how both teams are trying to win the matchup. Right away, Ratipai is going into the full trap, and that's what's so scary, the full trap into the full fear. Maro with that pre-temp shield for any damage that does come in. Throwing out that orb, getting offensive right away, though. The full silence coming out onto Milkman. The wall from Psyfoxy right away to keep himself topped off. There's the Archangel from Milkman trying to keep his team top backed off. The True Shot coming out from Dillypoo as well. So Sneakier Snakes is like, no, we want to immediately turn this pressure back around. But Ascendant's full HP. That's the Icy Veins from Maro as well. That's tons of damage from Valet. He's using his Void form, getting so many Vampiric touches out, and that's going to be a problem if they don't really stop those Vampiric touches. But the full trap now onto Ratipai. Maro taking a ton of damage, dips down very low, and actually going into that first ice block of the game. Comes out immediately. Probably a nice call there from Ratipai, getting him top back off. That's his Archangel and his Wings, so he has those huge shields for him. But now Ascendant's really pushed in his position. I would expect them to play a little more defensively, a little more back, and then catch Sneakier Snakes in the middle of the map. But they're just pushing in. Dillypoo's taking a ton of damage. The Incarnation of Psyfoxy is not faded quite yet. The Milkman, the CC onto Milkman has faded though, so Dillypoo and Psyfoxy will probably get top back off here in a second. But Dillypoo and Psyfoxy just rotting down, and that's that Shadow Priest pressure we were just talking about. Valet getting very low, and it is forced into that dispersion as Ratipai is now sitting into that full trap. The Silence comes down in the Milkman as well, but Discipline Priest have two schools. They have the Shadowman and that Clarity of Will to spam out. But Dillypoo's getting low. He has that aspect of the turtle if he wants to do it. He has Trinket available, does not have that acceleration heal. Maro gets kicked very low as well, has that ice block available. Ratipai in that stun could maybe go into some trap or fear CC afterwards, but it looks like he avoids that follow-up CC. Very nicely done there. Temp shield from Maro, helping him back off. He has that defensive cooldown still available if he needs it. The dispersion from Valet not quite back up yet. This game's pretty back and forth. Now the Silence comes out in the Milkman. Not sure if there's a Mind Bomb quite yet coming out. Actually, I haven't seen a Mind Bomb yet, I don't think so. I'm not sure if he's Mind Bomb or if they're playing double fear with the Shadow Priest. The Wyvern comes out on the Ratipai. Maro getting very low and is forced into his final ice block. Does get Master Spell. I'm just going to pause just for a quick second. Maro gets Master Spelled. He's at 30%. We have Life Swap available still from the team of Ascendant. They have Trinket and Pain Suppression. So they have a lot of cooldown. It kind of depends what they want to use. I would not be surprised if this was a Pain Suppression coming in from Ratipai because Valet's in that CC. Can't Trinket swap because he has no Trinket available. But Ascendant has a lot of offensive pressure. If they can get another CC chain or two onto Milkman, I could definitely see Dilly or Psyfoxy going down. So this game is very close. There's that Bursting Shot, and the Life Swap does come out from Valet to keep up Maro. There's the huge Archangel heals from Ratipai. That was Ratipai's Trinket as well. So the only defensive cooldown remaining from Ascendant is that Pain Suppression from Ratipai. Dillypoo taking a ton of damage though. Has that aspect of the turtle still if he needs to go into it. Here's the Rapture. Archangel from Milkman to top Dillypoo and Psyfoxy back off. Dillypoo's pet did die. He does revive it immediately. Maro throwing out the Temp Shield, and I love the positioning now of Ascendant. They're sitting on that pillar, making sure that Sneakier Snakes has to overextend to actually hit them. There's the pre-wall coming out from Psyfoxy. Now the full trap on the Ratipai. He does use that Pain Suppression on onto Morrow to mitigate as much damage as possible, keep him up in the CC chain. Morrow's doing a great job of line of sight and keeping those blizzards. The mind control support coming out from Valet as well, and Rattapie to keep Morrow afloat for now. Morrow trying to cast that blizzard, casting that big Ebon Bolt. Does get interrupted though. Milkman, one more CC chain and Dillypoo could go down, but one more CC chain on the Rattapie and Morrow could go down. So this is definitely very back and forth. There's the orb. Cyfoxy taking a ton of damage. He has no walls available quite yet. He has no trinket or walls, but the full sheep now coming out to Milkman X. Cyfoxy doing anything he can to survive, running around the pillar, line of sighting Morrow, and Valet casting regrowth on himself. Valet finally catching his target. Cyfoxy getting very low. Milkman into another sheep, and Cyfoxy goes down. Wow, so that was very back and forth. Did not look one-sided for either team. Ascendant had 0 defensive cooldowns left. One more good setup from Sneakier Snakes and this game would be over. Cyfoxy had Incarnate in 17 seconds. I'd be willing to bet if this game went 17 seconds longer, Sneakier Snakes would have won that game. They still had paint suppression available, but Milkman could not get that paint suppression or that barrier off. So if Milkman was playing Trinket there, they might have actually survived or won that game. Very close matchup though. Let's hop into game number 2. Game number 2 now on Dalaran Sewers. Same team, guys. 1-0 led by Ascendant. This is very scary, right? That was a very back and forth game. This is a much smaller map, of course, picked by the losing team, Sneakier Snakes, from that first matchup. The loser gets to pick the next map, and they can kind of counter pick compositions as well. Ascendant staying with that same composition. Rattapie trinkets that immediately, popping his Archangel to keep his team afloat. Milkman going to that full polymorph, and the True Shot Incarnation immediately being popped by Dilly and Cyfoxy to turn the pressure back around. That's the Icy Veins from Morrow as well. The Sheeps and the Silence was coming on the Milkman. Slight overlap there, but that's okay from the team of Ascendant. Morrow and Valet having an amazing opener once again, completely just mitigating all of this damage and just rushing in and playing very aggressive as this Frost God Comp type of composition, which is so surprising to me. I would think they would play much more defensively, but the full trap comes out on the Rattapie, and Valet has to go into that dispersion right away at the start of this match. So the first kind of defensive cooldown is coming out from Ascendant. Dillypoo getting very low though, no CC on the Milkman quite yet. That's that power word barrier. He still has aspect of the turtle. Already uses Exile Hill, heal, but the full polymorph now comes out on the Milkman as well. He has no trinket. He's still playing with that relentless talent. Dillypoo still very low and finally goes into that turtle. There's the fear coming out of the Milkman as well. Into that full silence. Dillypoo might just go down here. Cyfoxy and Dilly very low. Milkman just has that pain suppression left. Now Rattapie going into that bursting shot. Valet has to do his best job. Line of sight. He's getting very low and swaps Morrow in that moment. Morrow actually pre-temp shield that swaps too. So Morrow's going to go back to full HP. Beautiful coordination there. Pain suppression coming out. It's a very quick game on both sides. If we just pause the game and look at defensive cooldowns real quick, no pain suppression, no barrier, no rapture, no archangel. Morrow has 2 ice blocks, but there's no life swap or dispersion from Valet. So it looks like Sneakier Snakes is just doing all of their pressure onto the Shadow Priest when Ascendant's out of defensive cooldowns. They have Trinket from Valet, which doesn't do much, and we have Trinket from Rattapie, which does help a little bit. So, but that's it. That's it. And then on the side of Sneakier Snakes, we only have pain suppression. There's no trinket from Milkman because he is playing Relentless. There is no Exile Hill. That's so hard to say. Exhilaration Heal. Let's go with that one. Aspect of the Turtle from Dillypoo has already been used as well, and the trinket. So either way, Dillypoo can die next go, or Valet can die next go. We'll just have to see which direction it goes. Once again, very, very close matchup. There's the Archangel, the full polymorph coming out of the Milkman. Let's see if some damage can connect. There's the Mind Bomb coming out on Dilly. He does use that human trinket to get out of it, but Dilly just taking so much damage. Milkman's really far into that polymorph. He does catch that pain suppression. That polymorph does break, but now the full fear's coming out. Not sure if there's any follow-up CC. Valet's getting so low. I don't know how he's going to survive. He might be the one to go down first. Dillypoo and Valet. There's the trap at 1. He actually eats the trap from Rattapie at 1%. I'm rewinding that, guys. We're going to retake a look at that. Look at Valet, 1% life, barely hanging on, throws that shield, and actually I didn't rewind quite enough. There's the trap eat from Rattapie, eats the trap, removing all of those bleeds as well from the Feral Druid. And then Dillypoo gets very low. I cannot believe Valet is still alive. Dillypoo getting very low. Any more damage or any more CC. There's the full counterspell onto Milkman, but he does have 2 schools, so he's going to continue to throw out shields. Cyfoxy, no walls available either. Cyfoxy and Dillypoo in so much trouble. There's the Mind Bomb connecting. So much damage coming in from Morrow and Valet. Looks like Ascendant's completely recovered at this point. Now it's Sneakier Snakes who's on the run. I cannot believe Valet actually survived that last go, but they still have no defensive cooldown. Sneakier Snakes, one more good setup in this game can still be over very quickly. There's the full polymorph onto Milkman, though. Cyfox getting very low, is forced to go bear form, running out of line of sight. Mar went for that re-polymorph. There's the Frozen Orb connecting onto Cyfoxy on the pillar. The huge Shadow Crash coming in from Valet, and the Druid goes down. Incredible incredible game there. Ascendant played insanely well, really highlighting the positioning of Valet there on eating that trap from Ratapai, barely surviving at 1% life. I cannot believe this. 2-0, but it doesn't really spell out the series quite yet. This is going to be a best of 5, but these games are so close. All right, guys, this is game 3 in a best of 5. That means if Ascendant wins, they are going to take this series. Sneakier Snakes needs to really reverse sweep them at this point. And once again, we're looking at the same composition choices. Now, Ruins of Lordaeron is going to be the map pick from Sneakier Snakes. This is kind of expected a little bit. There's less pillars, more or less line of sight for the Shadow Priest and the Mage to get around, and Dillipu can really start free casting onto them, and that's what they want. Valet seems to be the target of choice. It really worked out for them last game, even though they lost. It seemed like a lot better choice than Maro. Maro popping that Icy Veins right away, trying to get offensive. Both Priests popping that Archangel to keep their team topped off in this very aggressive opener. But Dillipu and Cyfoxy popping Incarnation and True Shot. Tons of damage coming from Sneakier Snakes onto the other side. Ratapai getting trapped off of that stun. Pops that Rapture. Looks like he's going to trinket and just continue throwing out shields to keep up that pressure. Milkman into the Polymorph, into the half Polymorph. Dillipu and Cyfoxy taking so much damage. And that's going to be the aspect of the turtle from Dillipu. And a wall not being quite used from Cyfoxy quite yet. He's surviving with Milkman shields. Nice to not use that there, even though he got very low. Listening to his healer, holding out his defensive cooldowns is the name of the game. Milkman does get counterspelled though, and Cyfoxy in that Mind Bomb, but Ratapai going into that full stun, into that full Wyvern now, and Maro stunned up as well. So Dillipu and Cyfoxy trying to reverse the pressure once again. Maro going into that first ice block of the game. And here's the thing, when Sneakier Snakes go into Maro, they get the ice blocks just like that, but then Valet is getting so much spread pressure that it's really crippling them. Where if they go Valet, they're reducing the pressure, but he almost seems like a harder target to kill because he does have the dispersion on the shorter cooldown than Ice Block. He has the life swap as well. Cyfox actually got very low though, was forced to trinket wall immediately and got grit back from Milkman. Both Priest mana not looking too great. Milkman on the losing end of that battle as well. He's about 30 or 40%. So not too bad, but both Priests have the pain suppression. Dillipu doesn't have his heal or turtle cooldown at all. There's that full Wyvern now coming out. I like how Sneakier Snakes is playing this a little more patiently. Massive Spell trying to get juked out there from Valet, trying to get his Priest out of that full trap. Might be a bursting shot afterwards. There it is. Maro taking a ton of damage as well. Looks like Sneakier Snakes is doing a great job. Looks like they found their target on Maro. That's going to be the pain suppression from Ratapai. They still have another Ice Block. They still have Life Swap, so they still have a lot of cooldowns to rotate through. Sneakier Snakes really just has to, play defensively when they're not doing their goes and then rotate through all their cooldowns. And eventually they might be able to get a kill, but Cyfox getting very low. That's his second wall bear form, sprinting behind the pillar, doing whatever he can to survive. Seems like Ascendant's really, just bugging Cyfoxy with these goes, with the Mind Bomb onto Cyfoxy, the silence on the Milkman, and then Cyfoxy just takes a ton of damage. And now they don't have much mana left or many defensive cooldowns left either. They have that pain suppression from Milkman, but that's about it. There's the orb on the pillar. Maro's doing really good at this. He puts his orb in a place where he just doesn't want them to be if they go there. Then get cleaved down. If they don't, then it's kind of like a dead zone. I actually like how he's doing that. He has another Ice Block available still. Icy Veins up in another 25 seconds. So that's what we're going to want to watch out here from Ascendance. This next Icy Veins, Maro's going to be able to do so much damage. There's the kit coming on tomorrow now. Ratapai, I'm not sure if he's playing Vim or not, but he will want to heal himself back up to get that extra healing if he is. Now that Silence coming out on the Milkman. Milkman's completely tapped on mana now. I cannot believe how quickly Milkman X is using all of his mana. There's the pain suppression coming out from Milkman. The Rapture coming out. This is his last line of defense, really. He has no more mana. That's his last little bit of cooldowns. If Ascendant just survives here, which looks like they are, they have all of their defensive cooldowns almost back up now. There's the Ice Block, Life Swap, Dispersion. Dillipu's getting very low, has that Trinket, has the Turtle if he needs. Ascendance, this is their best game yet. They're looking incredible in this match. It's not even close at this point because there's so many defensive cooldowns. Sneakier Snakes is all rotting down once again. I'm not sure how Sneakier Snakes is going to slither out of this one. Dillipu, Milkman, and Cyfoxy about 50% life. This is the Incarn. That was the True Shot as well, used from Dillipu. There's the stun coming out of Dillipu, the silence on the Milkman. Ascendant just need a little bit more to close out this game. Mara actually does go into that Ice Block. Dillipu's at like 1% life. The silence coming out of the Milkman. The Frozen Orb coming out into Dillipu. He tries his best to survive, but he does go down. Incredible game there. Ascendant's going to take it 3-0 with that crazy Discipline Priest, Frost Mage, Shadow Priest setup. It's so weird. I've never actually played that myself. I might want to try it with like WizK or Gex or something. That'd be such a fun comp to try out as the Frost Mage. And Sneakier Snakes jungle couldn't quite take it. Guys, if you enjoyed these games, make sure to give the video a big thumbs up. If you did not, thumbs it down. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys think about the LAN this weekend or this specific series. Had such a fun time watching, and this game specifically was just back and forth. It was 3-0 for Ascendant, but it didn't really look like that as you're watching the games because it was so close. Also, in the comments, guys, let me know specifically which games from the LAN you guys want me to talk about, commentate, pause, slow down, walk through, and I will do that for you guys here on this channel, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.